What's up everybody, Brett here, back with Kingdom Rush HD for my YouTube channel Good Talk Gaming. See, last time we left off we had finished Night Fang's Whale and we were headed on to Castle Blackburn. Now I want to let you know I did this a bit off camera and I wasn't able to do it kind of in the easier fashion that I've been able to do most of these other levels, and the last thing I want to do is do this a million times on camera, ultimately failing and then wasting everybody's time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure it out off camera and then bring you guys back when I have something, a concrete kind of build to show you. And that's the way it is a lot of times with tower defenses, especially this game in general. These extra maps here are meant to be more difficult than your standard maps, and if you were able to do them in one shot, I mean, it wouldn't be much fun anyway. And I don't mind failing once or twice, but you know, I don't want to continuously restart until I get it just perfect and have you guys have to watch that. So instead I thought we would take a break from this aesthetic and jump back over to Sarelgaz's Lair. And I thought I would bring Thor. He was really fun the time that we did use him in the ice levels, and I think it's kind of thematic to bring him to the north. So let me go ahead and read this campaign blurb. It says, General, we have need of you and your brave men. The late Veznan causes trouble from beyond the grave. While you were battling him, he sent one of his hordes to wake up one of the dreaded Spider Queens, Sarelgaz. We thought the Spider Queen would never wake up again, but Sarelgaz has, and with her powers over darkness, she's taken control of Veznan's remaining troops. You must vanquish them and slay Sarelgaz. Kind of a Lord of the Rings vibe there. For any of you who've read any of the older works. And of course, it's been years since I've done this, but I remembered freeing Frodo. Look how cool that is. I love that. Okay. Let's get Thor up in here. So you'll notice we only have one exit, which is deceptive. Because there's going to be a lot of spiders on this map, which means we need a lot of AoE to take them out. We have the central island here, which is crucial. And we want to put towers that have maximum effect on all of these pathways here. The placement of our barracks is also crucial. So that position right there is just not going to cut it for a barracks. Generally when I start, you know, I want to identify the most important, most valuable positions, and then I want to take advantage of them. So some of these plots in here I think we can afford to sacrifice to a barracks. This is certainly a barracks. I'm comfortable with doing that. And we didn't start with a lot of gold, which is why I'm attempting to be conservative here. And we should expect something to come from this large central cave. I think something like that is probably fine. And then we'll want this something like here. When these are all towers eventually, we'll have to keep that in mind. One of these will also be a barracks. So as far as we can get them, it's pretty close. And this may also need to be a barracks as well. We definitely want something in the back line here. And we can look to get archer towers in these positions. Or even mage towers. But spiders, if I remember right, do have magic resistance. So we don't want to overload on the mage towers. Let's try something like that. And perhaps something like this. And these central positions are going to be crucial. Whether or not we want to try and get a Tesla in to affect this fight, or a Big Bertha to potentially hit all of this region, or if we want to get something like the Musketeers to give ourselves Overwatch. But either way, we're going to need lots of AoE, and we do have many towers that can provide that for us. So with our remaining gold, I think we just upgrade our front line here.
Wrath of the heavens. Freedom.
Put our hero on one side and our reinforcements on the other. Kind of the classic strategy. And we'll see how this opening build works. If we start failing quickly, we'll certainly change it up. Giant spiders do have high magic resistance, so we need to keep that in mind. And there will be matriarchs in this next calling. So we need to call them early, make sure we get double reinforcements here. And I like bringing up Thor to the central portion here. And we can drop that. There's no reason to even begin to leak on a map like this. And I think we look to upgrade one of these central towers. Call early. Okay, so here on this side we're getting brigands with their heavier armor, and on this side we're getting thugs, so that's certainly worth noticing. And let's use our reinforcements on this side for their extra bodies. And when we need to, when they engage, we'll bring Thor over to do the damage, and if we have to, we can use Rain of Fire at any point. And I think we do want to call early. And this is kind of bad. We don't want a straggler to get through, because then we're not getting the necessary DPS. So I'm thinking maybe we can afford to rush a Tesla here. And if we can do that, see, we already have air, so I'm quite glad we went with these early archer towers. So we're going to ixnay the Tesla plan, and we're going to call them early because we do need that gold. Now unfortunately our hero Thor does not have an air attack exactly, but I think he might cast his abilities on air units. And he does. Awesome. And I think we're going to certainly have to call down some fire here, hope to get some free kills. I don't like that placement at all, but I think we got this. And I placed this here because I think we certainly want to get Wrath of the Forest up ASAP. Perhaps we can afford to use that there. Barely didn't leak there. Continue to reinforce. And unfortunately this placement here is a little rough, but I think it is the best. We would love it if they could cover the entire section there. And let's get that Tesla, because the sooner we get that up, we can afford to bring Thor here. Okay. Now I think instead of upgrading this, we can afford to try and rush a second Tesla here. And we're going to have axe throwers in the next wave. And I think we call them early. And just be ready to nuke them down with Rain of Fire. So you can see, I mean, the range on this is just fine. It's going to hit every single group that comes through. And we're going to kill these axe throwers just so they're not able to threaten Thor. And we're going to get our next Tesla. And we're going to sit these guys just a bit further back so that our Tesla is guaranteed to hit. And I should have called them first and then done that. That would have been the play. And these axe throwers are very good at killing Thor, so we need to saturate him. And let's upgrade that. We need to make sure we're saturating him among lower tier troops so that he's not taking the full brunt of all of those axe throwers. Unfortunate, we're going to leak here. And I think part of that is just me not being decisive on where I want to spend my gold. So that was a bit rough. Yeah, I don't like leaking that much. Let's restart. And this time we have a better idea of what we want to do. Still think this is just absolutely correct. This is fine. This is fine, and this is fine. And I think it's worth thinking about. We'll let Frodo go. I think it's worth thinking about the magic towers for dealing with the trolls, even if it sucks against the spiders. I have a feeling we still will want them. And we need to think about what positions we need them in. I think this is a great position for that ranger tower. And I think we can do something like this here.
Archers ready?
Looking at this mage tower here, and then it would potentially be another archer tower at this position, eventually becoming a musketeer garrison. And I think here we can try a little bit of quality over quantity, and vice versa. Let's get Thor out front. And we'll look to upgrade the footman barracks as soon as we can. Right now we just really want to level Thor. Call him early. Let's get as much gold as possible. And if we have to drop fire, we will. And I think it was clear that we kind of did there. Call him early and get Thor up here. Yeah, the Legionnaires do so much damage when they're allowed to just sit back and shoot. So because of their lack of speed and how far back we're placed, we can let Thor kind of help deal with these dudes. And we call them early. And now we have Rangers. Excellent. And we should have air after this, if I remember correctly. So you'll see this is going much faster. I'm able to be more decisive on what kind of towers we want. And I think I'm going to rush a musketeer garrison. And we want to make sure we've got guys. Call and call. So So air's coming now. And there we go. And I feel like we have a very strong anti-air presence. So now we do have wolves coming, and we can call them early. I don't think they're going to affect our wave at all. But let's see here. Alright, Thor, I don't need you, buddy. And we got some fire up on the top wolves, which is nice. Thor's up to level 5, that's good. And now we have trolls to deal with. We're going to call early for the gold because we need it. And this shouldn't be that difficult of a round. It's the next one where the axe throwers start to come. And when that happens, we want to make sure we have strong enough towers that do enough DPS to burst them down. And we can drop fire, a bit unnecessary, call, and then call again. I think that's fine. Yeah, we don't want Thor taking that damage. Nice, and he stunned all those guys. Just got to get him in there and melee. And let's get sorcerer mages, because I would like to get the elementals as soon as possible. And we can get Thor up on these guys. What are these? The chieftains? Man, if we could have fired them right as they came out, that would have been solid. It might have been worth holding them there, or attempting to hold them there. And we don't want Thor to die. Let's get some knights. And let's drop some fire. So we need Thor in melee, we can't be wasting that DPS. And we need Teslas here with overcharge, hopefully. And if we can single out these necromancers, we want to. We want to stop them from summoning all these skeletons. So this should be fine now with overcharge, we just need to focus on this side. And we really have got to kill the necromancers. Let Thor heal up and then send him back in. So there we go, we got one of them. Yeah, once you have overcharge, you're able to clear out the skeletons with very little effort. And let's bring Thor to this fight. The necromancers hit surprisingly hard, so we can't just assume that we're going to win that. And let's drop some fire there. And Thor's healed up now. We can afford to call them just a bit early. And here come Dark Slayers. That's rough. And we don't want the healers to mix with the Dark Slayers, that is for sure. So let's keep them separate. And we need Rain of Fire as soon as we can get it. And I'm looking to get another Tesla. And drop fire right here. And I think that's a solid investment, getting those tapped out. And if it's going to be the same thing on this side, then I think we're covered. And we can just use Thor to make sure these healers never join up. We're going to look to get some elementals soon and use them to block up these passageways, give ourselves some more protection. And we're going to Rain of Fire this front line here. The Dark Knights I'm not so much worried about, it's the Slayers. And we can eventually start actually unlocking some of these. And I think what we do here is something like this. And we can call that early. No problem. So something like this, I think, is where we want to be. And look to get an Arcane Wizard here. With its teleportation, anyone who gets close will bring them back. And we can look to get throwing axes on our barbarians as well. Should help us with any kind of airwave shenanigans. We need one more elemental. Okay, definitely don't want healers to mix in with Yetis. 2000 HP pool is a bit too much for any of that. And this would be a good time to attempt to get some upgrades on our Musketeer garrison and our Ranger hideout. Poison is excellent against these guys, and so is Sniper Shot. Putting damage over time on these large targets. And another benefit, if you guys, maybe you haven't watched all of these episodes and you don't know what all the abilities do, but our magic towers do cost slow, and this yellow effect is these units being weakened against physical attacks by the effects of the sorcerer towers. So there's quite a lot of synergy going on here between the physical damage being done and the magic damage. Even against magic resistant targets, that type of damage should still be effective. And I think here we're going to upgrade these. Certainly Wrath of the Forest, once fully upgraded. 3 seconds stun to this entire AoE could be pretty clutch at some point. And I want to get one shrapnel shot. It's a very expensive upgrade, but it does do a lot of damage if enemies are bunched together. And you want to get a sniper shot. Now we're going to be seeing lava elementals and necromancers. And we can upgrade our front line just a bit. You know, we could go full on paladins. Yeah, we can call a bit early here. I think we're doing fine. Let's make sure Thor is hitting somebody. But that kind of opens up a whole new world of... and let's double upgrade that. We can get lucky sometimes and get some single kills. But this opens up a whole new world of expensive upgrades that we need to get. And if this is, in fact, a boss level, and this probably is, it's a 20 wave level, which is quite huge. then we may want to focus more on getting as much DPS as possible. This game's not gonna allow us to one-shot a boss, so that's my thought process behind that. So getting those kind of upgrades might be great for these types of waves, but they're not gonna be good against the boss. So there's definitely a potential there for wasted DPS. And here, oh, Thor goes down. It's alright, we're doing great. Wrath of the Forest going off. Really would like to get him to level 10. I'm not sure if he gets an increase in armor at level 10. Don't quite remember, but here we now have demons coming. So if you remember, demons explode on death. So let's do something to change this up just a bit. Upgrade our paladins. At least giving them the ability to heal themselves. Drop some fire there. But I intentionally separated my elemental and my paladins just a bit to hopefully protect them from the explosiveness of the demons. They're meant to kind of clear your backline waves out, and that's certainly what they do if you let them get to your bunched up backline. Okay. So let's move them just a bit. We're doing fine. We have a lot of gold we're sitting on. And that's fine too. We don't need to hastily spend our gold. Our paladins are holding up very well in the front lines. Now the demon lords, in case you haven't seen all the other episodes I've done, they do provide this invulnerability shield to other demons, so you need to kill them before you can get to them. And singling them out like that, dropping a reinforcements right on top of them, they also explode just like the little guys do. So that's worth noting. So the game is giving us just a ton of gold to work with, which I'm not going to complain about. Get some barbarians in the back line. Make sure they can hit air. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with holding gold until you see exactly what you need. And I'm not getting effects like polymorph or death ray or teleport right now, because like I said, if this is a boss battle, and I think it is, then those aren't going to be effective against the boss. And I think here I'm just going to get another mage tower. I don't know what kind of physical resistance the boss might have. Hopefully not too much. Physical or magical resistance, that is. Son of Sarelgaz. Huh, that sounds like a new enemy. And it is. Okay. The Sons of the Spider Queen are formidable opponents and serve as her guardians. High magic resistance and heavy armor. So these guys are just strong all around. Yeah, a lot of HP, a lot of damage. But the poison should go through. Huh, got him stuck there on his buddy. Our paladins are strong. They do a lot of damage, but Thor has high armor, so he's able to tank some of that for us. Get some polymorphs here, and we can strengthen our elemental. Drop some fire. They are resistant, but let's see. We'll get some more abilities. on our barbarians. Give them 2 axes, they'll do a lot more damage now. So here we go, she's coming on this next wave, final wave. I can grab 1 teleport there, I think that's fine. And another teleport there. Very strong. And depending on how flooded they try and get us, we can afford to get these. 18,000 HP, huge damage, so she'll probably one-shot anything that comes close to her. And just as important, we need to know no armor, no magic resistance. Oh wow, she KO'd him. Okay. And that's what I'm saying, that's what we need to know. Now let's get shrapnel in the back line. Drop some fire on her. Get a little burst of damage. Hopefully hit some other dudes in the other portions of the map. So she's able to one-shot them, so we just need to keep her busy. And we can upgrade our paladins a bit there. Yeah, let's get a lot more damage on their ranged attacks here. So much HP. Gotta keep her here. I don't know what Thor's doing, but you need to get in the fight, buddy. And if we have to, we'll bring our elemental down as well. But I think we got her at the point now where she has to continuously attack. Let's get her, come on. 1500. Put the damage up there. And we squished her. And now we just kind of have to make sure we don't leak. We have to clear this wave. There we go. That should help us clear it. See the berserkers doing their whirlwind attacks. There we go. Wow, we did it. Achievement unlocked, arachnophobia. Cool. In real life, I'm a moderate amount scared of spiders. I think a healthy, respectful amount scared of spiders. I don't think I'm scared of really anything else in the world, but man, I just don't like spiders. Thor did very well that map. Flying wasn't a huge issue, and we really just needed another tank, and his AoE stuns did quite well against the massive like spiders and brigands and things like that. So I think Thor was pretty perfect for that map. And let's see. Most of my other episodes have been, well, I think all of my other episodes have been about an hour long, so we should have time to do one more. And I'm looking around, and I see Hushwood. This could be fun. I think this Pit of Fire, as well as the Rotten Forest, I think they're multi-part, just like this series was, so we might hold off on those till we can do them kind of back to back. And I don't think the Hushwood is multi-part. I think it's a standalone. But let's find out. Let's change up our hero. Someone we haven't used a lot. I like Ignis. We only used him once. You know what, let's select Ignis. Let's see how he does. I don't know about bringing a guy made out of fire to a forest battle, but hopefully nobody calls Smokey on us. Hushwood, So let me read the little campaign blurb for you guys. It says, General, you must once more rouse your troops and protect our kingdom from its enemies. Scouts report indicate that a vicious band of delinquents is amassing far into the depths of Hushwood. Yes, Hushwood, where few of our citizens dare wander. But you are no mere citizen. Lead your forces into the woods and vanquish these miscreants. Make them rue the day they decided to embark on a life of crime. So, I'm expecting lots of bandits. Yeah, there we go. Mass bandits. Okay. And I'm remembering this map a bit now. This forest, these forest areas provide cover for the enemies to walk. So when they're walking along the path here, they get to the forest, they become invulnerable until they reappear in this area. We only have one exit. I remember, and once again I'm going off my memory, so this is something, if you're playing this for the first time, you guys won't have this kind of point of reference, and I understand that, but playing off my memory, some of these maps in either this game or the next games, they actually end up opening up new lanes, like an obstacle will clear on the map and all of a sudden you've got to defend a secondary lane or even a third lane. I'm not sure if this is one of the first times that they introduced that. So I'm going to play as if that's not the case. And let's start setting up normally. So, very important to respect the fact that they're only sending units down one wave, or one lane rather. So we're going to defend it in such a manner because we only have 500 gold. So as it gives us more gold and shows us it's going to send guys from different points, that's when we're going to start looking to invest in defending different lanes. But as of right now, I mean, we can bring Ignis here potentially and not have to worry. If the game wants to pull some super early game shenanigans and mess us up that way, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's see, we could do something like this. For honor and glory. Something like that. Fire and brimstone. I like it. And then this would be like a secondary. Although this right here is a perfect place to put another barracks. It's an outside lane. It's not going to be able to hit everything we want it to. We could even, this is quite the forward position. We could even have looked to consolidate this area back here. And that may have been smarter to do that. Something like a barracks there and a barracks there. With this here. Potentially even this here. An archer tower there. You know what? Since we're just kind of figuring this out together, let's restart. Let's do something like this. Dodge this. Have at thee. And we can bring this forward. We don't want to bring it too far forward. If let's say we put it here, then we're missing out on any protection down the line that we're going to need for that back line. So let's make sure we've got it kind of a little further back in this intersection. And that's going to be enough for right now. And this is a bit of a wasted tower here. They're not going to be able to interact at all with this wave. But I think that's fine. Just to get our plan on paper, so to speak, so we don't forget where our priorities are. And when the time comes to start putting advanced positions, I think our build here was quite solid. So just more bandits. We really need him to level. And we do need to call early whenever we get the chance, because we don't want... Gotta love those animations. We don't want to miss out on all that early gold for the easier waves. It would just be a mistake. And I think here we place another barracks here. And we want our barracks to be strong. Getting them to at least their tier 2 would be fine. And Ignis, this guy might just be the wrong hero for this. And I can't believe we're going to leak 1 here. It's not a big deal. I don't mind leaking 1. I'm not going to restart over that. But he's very squishy. He has no armor. And I think we would have been much better off there if we either had someone with some AoE or that could teleport. And I think we implement this plan here. And these bandits are just very easily able to kill our tier 1 barracks. So let's upgrade those. Also, he doesn't hit air, so let's see how this goes. We don't have a ton of air defense. I'm gonna look to upgrade this as soon as possible. Just stack reinforcements. Hopefully we can one-shot these guys like we're doing. And we're gonna bring him here. He should have been down here this whole time. I was very focused on making sure we didn't leak on the air wave. I'm kind of building this on the fly, and I think this is a fine layout for the range. This could be a musketeer. This will be a ranger tower. Get in there, Ignis. Let's go. We need those levels, buddy. Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure what the exact strength of Ignis is. I mean, he does some close range AoE damage, but I don't know how unique that is. We're going to leave him here because the stronger wolves are coming out from that direction, and we can reinforce the bottom just to make sure we don't get overwhelmed by sheer numbers. And let's get that ranger's hideout right away. Doing fine. And a musketeer garrison will be fine there, as well as a ranger's hideout. Regardless, I think we need to call early here. And we have a new enemy, raiders. Elite armored mercenaries that fight only for the spoils of battle and the promise of gold. So they're very slow, great armor, costs 3 lives. Ranged magic attack. That's interesting. So once again, our more magic dealing heroes would probably be better here. Certainly an opportunity to upgrade our mage towers. Probably looking to get sorcerer magic, just so we can lower their resistances to all of the physical damage we do have coming in. And an elemental will be fine. Put Ignis off to the side because I think he's just going to get like 3 shot by these dudes. So let's hope this magic damage is enough to take them out. Little dodge there. Okay, so we got him. Yeah, and I think this will be a fine secondary ranger's hideout. Make sure they have poison all the way through. And we can look to upgrade this to a musketeer. Yeah, let's drop fire. Get Ignis in the fight. Nice fire placement there, just clearing out all of these thugs. I think it's about time we start getting some kind of Tesla going there. This would also be an excellent spot for a Tesla. I didn't think of that, but it certainly would be. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them hit this guy. I need to turn off my announcements for Steam. You guys don't need to see any of that, for sure, in these videos. Upgrade our back line a little bit, get some knights. And we have some more flyers and some more wargs. So let's go ahead and get that. Yeah, and this is where I think the Tesla would be preferable. It's unfortunate that I upgraded this so heavily. I think it's a great place for a ranger hideout, for sure. But it's having the overcharge going off in this area, hitting both waves. Yeah, if we end up failing this this run, I'm gonna think that was probably a pretty big cause, or at least something that I know I can tweak and get a better result. Certainly. And now that this is a Tesla, we'll be able to hit air, and I don't think we'll have to worry anymore about air. Certainly. Call early. Before we do too many upgrades, what do we have? So pillagers, magic resistant, criminal, warlords that can dispatch scores of soldiers with their infernal blades. Area magic attack costs 5 lives. So they're a wave clear. They have a lot of life. They do a lot of damage. And I think we drop some fire on these guys. Clear out all of his bodyguards. I would expect he has the ability to nearly one-shot our little buddies. So I'm thinking about lots of different things here, if you're wondering why I'm kind of waiting to pick. And it's because I think at some point they're going to overload us on this bottom area here, and I want to be prepared for that. So I think we're going to rush a Tesla on the back line. I think it's fine here to call early, get the fire. There we go. And we leveled up Ignis to 8. Still has no armor, so he might be the worst guy to take to this level. And if you're playing this at home or following along, I think the ice mage lady, Alora, I think her name is, she would be super powerful with her AoE magic damage. She also levels super quick. I think she would be a good choice. Potentially, who else? Oni would be really strong. He has super high armor. Thor even would be great in this. Anyone with a lot of armor or really strong magic damage, I think is going to give you your best value. And we can start looking to get those upgrades here and here as well. Once we upgrade our overcharges completely. He does area damage, so just sticking a ton of guys in front of him isn't going to do it. We're going to get one Wrath of the Forest, one Poison Arrow. And we can start nuking these guys down. And I have plans to get berserkers, or barbarians rather. I think I keep calling them berserkers. The barbarian hull here. Giving them that ranged attack and then allowing them to shoot down into the wave from safety against melee attackers. The elemental's doing a great job at holding up these big guys. We can upgrade them. And let's get our barbarians. Give them their throwing axes. See, now they're able to sit back in this wave if we want. I mean, we might want to get them a little closer to the action. They're very valuable as kind of a body, but in the moments where they're able to throw, we want them to be able to. Otherwise, we're just wasting that DPS. And I want to upgrade these guys. I think at this point, we want to have tier 3 all over the place. We still have 2 positions that aren't used. And that's intentional. Let's get some paladins right here. These guys are doing a ton of fighting. Paladins do a lot of damage when they're upgraded, and they're also very tanky. And I think we want to get paladins there as well. So Ignis is finally level 10, still no armor. His damage isn't really that impressive. I just have to imagine there's a bit more going on with his abilities than I'm able to see. Yeah, for the moment he doesn't look like he's doing much. So we're making it through. We're already on wave 13 of 15. And we can upgrade, potentially get Big Bertha or just another Tesla. I like diversity. I'm not sure there's anything that Big Bertha actually offers that the other does not. We can drop some hot fire. But if you're going to get Big Bertha, you do need to get the upgrades. Otherwise, it's just an even stronger version of the same Dwarven Bombards. Look to get shrapnel shot there. Our Musketeer Tower has just kind of been silently doing a lot of work from this back position this whole time. Need to get Ignis in there. And this position here could just easily be another barbarian position with more throwing axes. And I think this needs to be an archer tower, just to get it to a musketeer garrison, just so that it'll hit all of this, and I think that's enough. I'm sure we remember to use our abilities. And with that fully upgraded, we shouldn't have too many more stragglers. Also be nice to get a single upgrade of sniper shot for the big guys. And I think we get barbarians here. Something like this. And then these would be paladins. I'm sure we'll get the gold in just a second. So we leaked one guy early on, and I would honestly chalk that up more to our hero. Some of the other heroes can teleport. That would have been able to save me. Some are faster than he is. That would have been good there. There we go. I think those are all fine upgrades. These guys would be more paladins. I think that's a pretty nice end build there. One change, I think I would consider making this a Tesla tower. It ended up being fine as a Ranger tower, but in order to even compete with the amount of damage that the Tesla does, and the ability to hit both lanes with the overcharge as it does, you need to have this fully upgraded, and that's very expensive. So let's see if there are more. There is, so it is like its own little mini campaign. Oh, I wonder if there are 2 or 3 in here. Okay, well we're going to find out next time, guys. That's just about an hour, and I think that's going to be enough for me today. Let's plan on taking... Ingvar Bearclaw might be fun in this. He has the ability to summon ancestors, and he's a decent melee combatant, so I think he's going to be a good match for us. Well, anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment down below if there's something else you want to see or just want to start a conversation about anything. At the end of this video, we do have a few minutes. I just want to take the opportunity to kind of say what my plans are for those of you who are watching this. I'm looking to start streaming soon. Those of you familiar with the Total War Warhammer 2 upcoming DLC, I'll be streaming that on YouTube, as well as the upcoming Battle Brothers DLC. For those of you who may be interested in that, those are probably the 2 things I'm the most interested in streaming. Video-wise, I'm looking to start a series on Surviving Mars, and that's a game I've played through to the near end, and I'm kind of getting the itch to play it again. So I thought, you know, if I'm going to do that, I might as well turn it into a series. Also, at the time of me recording this, Gwent's DLC just went live, Thronebreaker, and I know kind of everybody and their mom is covering that right now. It might have been nice for me to do that as well, but I am playing it in my free time, and if you guys would like to see some of that gameplay, just let me know. May end up doing it regardless. You know, I'm not getting a lot of viewers right now, not a lot of feedback, so I may just have to kind of rely on what I think you guys might want to see now and in the future. So, alright guys, those are just a few of my plans and what I'm thinking about, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And without any further ado, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.